Good morning, friends. I want to share some personal details with you today and a message that I feel is very powerful, very relevant, and can help you in some ways that maybe in some areas that you're not even looking at this point. So last week at CEO Power Hour, we were addressing the common obstacles and goals that each of these business owners had in the room. And this conversation started about really an emotional conversation. Hello, Steph. Thank you so much. An emotional conversation about the fear of never reaching her potential. And it was interesting because there's a lot of moments to where when somebody expresses, their fear, their obstacle, what they're traveling through, what they're struggling with, that instantly my beautiful brain just goes into, I can help them. I've been there. I can share something with them to shift something. And this moment was really interesting for me because I found myself sharing that emotion with her. And I've been thinking about this over the last week and how many of us really feel this. And my greatest fear, my biggest fear is that I will never reach the potential that I believe is possible for me. And why this is so scary to me is that for me, and probably for you, being a business owner, a powerful woman, a successful woman, the thing that drives us is the knowing of the impact and the change that we can make in this world. For the women that I work with, it's never just about the beautiful simpleness of let me build my own business so that I can have freedom of time and financial freedom. Those are almost byproducts. Really, what I find in myself, and this is why the women are like this, because we tend to attract people that are similar, is that we are so driven and our ambition is fueled by the desire for impact. The desire to create great change in an industry, in an area, in a way that people feel or think, or a combination of all of these things. And it is my greatest fear that I am somehow responsible for capping my own potential, as we all are. And so I'm sharing this because I first want to just open up and be vulnerable and say that this is something that when she shared this struggle with me, when she said to me, I think at night and as I'm laying there, I feel the feeling of being scared that I will never in this lifetime reach the potential that is meant for me. And I felt that. And everybody in the room felt that. Because when you start a business, there are business owners that start because they look at it as a pathway to freedom and financial freedom and things like that. And then there are business owners that start that is a beautiful, shiny object that hangs, but really their hearts are so lit up by being able to create something different, being able to lead with heart, being able to change and alter the way that things are done in an industry and the way that people think, whatever that is. And so as I sat and I thought more about this fear, I realized that this is an opportunity for us to shift this fear. Because the thing about fear is, you may have heard me say it before, but you can see the fear in the room with you and then choose to proceed anyway. You always have that choice available to you. You can feel the immense pressure of fear and choose to proceed. Very often, the problem is not fear. The problem is that you're letting fear dictate the choices that you make and the actions that you take in your life. And so as I thought deeper into myself feeling this same fear, sharing this with this powerful woman, recognizing that no matter the level that we are at, no matter how successful that we are, we still have this fear because we have this deep burning desire for more, for bigger, for change, for impact. And so what we choose to do with this fear, and the shift that I've been making and the shift that I want to share with you today, is shifting into letting fear be your driver. Because in this moment, in this recognition of, I am terrified, I am purely 100% scared, fearful, it makes me emotional, truly, about possibly never leaving this earth and never doing what I set out to do, never changing the amount of lives that I want to change. That wrecks me. The idea that I'm getting emotional, the idea that I could one day leave and my legacy would not be as big as I want it to be. That there wouldn't be millions of women saying, Kelsey was a part of my journey. She helped me in this way or this way. So instead of being crushed by this fear, whenever we feel fear, as fear is the biggest obstacle for women, regardless of if you're a business owner or not, regardless of what your goals are, fear is the number one thing that stops people. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the unknown. And the problem is, fear is the thing that stops you. But as I sank into feeling this fear in my body, and coming back to my journey and all of the times that I felt fear previously, if you choose, fear can be your driver. Fear can be the thing that instead of letting it weigh on you and crush you, it contributes to your power. It contributes to your ability to move and move differently. And the beauty of this is that this is a choice. So much of us, whether it's from privilege or otherwise, have a lot of things that are available to us. And different people have different things available to them. But the one thing that every single person has available to them is the power of choice in our minds. The power of perception, the power of being able to see and choose, how do we want to take this and what do we want to do with it? And so we can choose to see fear and we can choose to let that be crushing. I could choose to feel this emotion of, what if I never reach my potential? What if I am continuously held back by responsibilities, circumstances, and whatever else, myself? What if that? I could let that crush me. I could let it take me out. I could let it keep me small. I could let it keep me stuck. Or I can recognize that fear and I can say, that fear is the reason why I will move. That fear is the reason why I will show up when it's hard to show up. That fear is the reason why when everything is not going as planned, I will continue onward. That fear is the reason why I won't quit. There is a difference in adapting to hustle culture and burning yourself out and overwhelming yourself and making the choices that lead to a rock bottom. And then there is the choice of, I refuse to let my possibility, my potential go uncovered, undiscovered. I refuse to shrink myself to fit into different rooms and different possibilities so that people can approve of me. So the shift for you today is to ask yourself, the fear that you feel, identifying the fear that you feel, understanding that that fear is felt by every single person, the people that you look up to, the people walking alongside you. It is not an emotion that once you get to a certain level disappears. The invitation for you today is to learn how to use that fear. What if that fear, when it sat in your body, instead of feeling like a heaviness on your chest, became the thing that you knew was driving you? When I lay my head down at night, much like this woman expressed to me that she was feeling, I think about that fear of possibly never getting to where I want to be. And in that moment, that is the exact moment in which the choice becomes apparent on, do I let that take me down the path of, I might never get there, so what is the point in trying? I might not do it right, so I shouldn't try. Or I know that there is more. I know that there is a possibility that I might leave this earth and never reach the amount of people that I want to. I might never create the exact change that I want. I might never impact 1 million women all over this world. But what if I did? What if that fear that I felt deep inside of me, the fear of never reaching my potential, came true because I stopped myself, because I didn't try, because I didn't call in the support, because I didn't speak when I felt like I was called to speak, because I was too scared or felt like it wasn't enough or felt like somebody did it already or somebody's doing it better than me. This is the choice that you have. This is the choice that has been sitting in my body of, you've done this for a really long time. And you're really good at this. And yes, other people do it too, but the way in which they do it is not like you. And the same goes for you. Each of us is one of one. There is no comparison. It's so hard for me not to get emotional around this because this is so real. This fear is something that I have felt, that all of my clients feel, that every single person who desires something more feels. And it is the thing that you can either choose to let it stop you or let it propel you forward. And that's the message of today. That is what is so important for me to share with you, is that your fear can be your driver. The thing that you're afraid of, you can choose the perspective of, I'm really scared and I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to say it wrong. I'm going to show up messy. I'm going to try to change one person's mind. I'm going to try to just do one thing differently. If you don't ever try, if you don't ever unfilter yourself and come forward boldly, truly, authentically, then your potential will never be met. But here's the truth that I know. When she expressed to me, I am afraid that I will never get to where I want to go. And I felt that so deeply. When she expressed this to me, what I knew in that moment was that is a choice. And each of us has the power of choice. When you start a business to create an impact, you are taking on the responsibility to keep going even when it's hard, to keep going even when you're scared, to show up differently, to show who you are differently, even when you are afraid. Because you will never be fearless. So many of us chase this idea that we can eliminate the fear. We think that if we do enough work on ourselves, we will no longer feel fear. And then you get these moments, these rushes of feeling fearless. But the truth is that fear actually always lives in the room. That emotion never goes away. No matter how much money you make, no matter how successful, no matter how many people are looking up to you, no matter how high that you climb, fear will still live in the room with you. And so knowing that, what will you choose to do with it? My fear that I share with all of my clients of never reaching my potential, of never doing enough, never being enough, can be my driver, can be your driver. You have the option on what to do with that fear. And if you let it stop you, it is guaranteed that you will never reach the potential or travel the journey of your true purpose. You will never witness your power in the way that it is actually already available to you. Because the key to holding your power, witnessing your power, knowing your power is, again, not eliminating the emotions of doubt, fear, uncertainty, imposter syndrome. It is knowing that those things can live and you can see them and you won't let them stop you. You may not become fearless, but what you can become is unstoppable. That is available to you. Because when you get knocked down, as you will get back up again. Because that's who you are. My resilience is my superpower. It is my strength and also my weakness. It is what has led me down so many paths that have failed and have lit a new spark to try again. It is what drives me to teach all of my clients from the place of experience, saying, this is what I've seen because I've been there, because I tried it, because I wasn't afraid to try it, because I will try to just know that I tried. And so understand that I feel your fear with you. I just choose to not let it stop me. I choose to still show up when things don't go as planned. I choose to see and feel when people say no to an offer, when people say no to coaching, when I get a refusal to speaking somewhere that I want to speak. It's okay to feel fear. It's okay to feel defeated. It's okay to feel deflated. It's okay to feel frustrated. But do not let it stop you. That is a choice. Because if you let it stop you, you will forever travel the cycle of momentum, motivation. Here we go. We're going to try again. It didn't work. Now I am shrinking myself smaller and smaller because I don't want to be seen in this hard emotion right now. But what if you let them see you in that? Like I am letting you see me now. I'm standing here as a powerful, successful woman and telling you I feel this too. I feel the fear too. But you don't have to travel the cycle of shrinking yourself when something doesn't go as planned. This contraction that is happening every single time something doesn't go the way that you want it to is what is stopping you from reaching your potential. And let me ask you this. If you know that you have two choices, one choice being that you can try and try and try and try, and you'll get closer to your potential, and the other being that your potential seems so big and so out of reach that you let it crush you and you never try. These are your two options. These are the two places, the crossroads that you come to, that I have come to many times in my life. And I swear to you that as I feel in my body right now that I am afraid of never becoming who I know I'm meant to be, I won't stop. Because even if I become half of that, it is better than staying stuck. It is better than not trying. It is better than not gaining the life experience to share with women to help them move. My greatest fear is that, just like you, that there will always be more and that I won't be able to reach it. But I would never be able to reach it if I don't try. And that's your invitation today. I hope that this is resonating for you. I hope that you recognize that fear will always be here and that you don't have to choose to stay in it. I hope that you recognize that no matter how successful you become, no matter how much money you make, no matter how many people you impact, that you will always feel uncertainty and doubt, and there will always be things that don't go as planned. And how you show up when you feel fear, when you feel uncertain, when you feel doubt, is how you stay connected to your power. You are not less than because something externally didn't go the way that you wanted it to. You have potential that is undiscovered, uncovered. It can be uncovered. This is an invitation for you to remember that, to remember and recognize and be aware of when you're being stopped by fear and say, I am actively afraid and I'm choosing to move forward because I want to at least try to reach my potential. Because I cannot leave this earth, this universe, without knowing that I gave it everything that I could. I hope that you know that your potential is greater than where you are right now. I hope that you know that every time you fall down and get back up again, you are rising closer. And I hope that if you lay your head down at night, like me, and many of my clients do, and you fear that you may never reach the potential that's meant for you, that you choose to use that fear as what drives you forward instead of what stops you. This is my choice. So what will you choose? What will you choose when things get rocky? When your external circumstances feel like that you need to move everything that you desire to the back burner? What will you choose when you're not getting the validation outside of you that you're seeking? What will you choose? Will you choose to keep going? Because I will. And if you want to ride with me, let's go. Because you will never become fearless, but you can become unstoppable. You can build resilience that gets you closer and closer to your potential. You can keep digging and uncovering layers and shedding what no longer serves you so that you can see what's meant for you. This is what's possible. But what is required is that you start using fear to drive you instead of stop you. I hope that this has been helpful for you today. I hope that this message has touched your heart in some way. I appreciate you watching, listening, being here. I won't apologize for my emotions because this is very deep in my heart right now. But just trust that there is more for you. And the only thing holding you back from that more is this conscious choice that you get the power to make. And if you need help making this choice, if you need help building this resilience, if you need help uncovering what your potential could be, and somebody to support you in the process, send me a DM and we could talk about what that looks like for you. My greatest fear is also the thing that pushes me forward. My greatest fear is also the thing that will keep me in the room. My greatest fear is also the thing that allows me to walk in my purpose. Yes, use fear to drive you instead of stop you. That is the message. If you're just now popping in, if you popped in halfway, I would really, really encourage, I'm going to share this. Please go back and watch the whole thing. I would love to hear just some takeaways from any of you in the comments or DMs. And let this be a conversation that we have and that we share this message because we're in this together. All of us as impact-driven women are here to make change. And I support you for being in my community, whether you're a client or not. I appreciate you. I hope you have a beautiful Wednesday. I can't wait to hear from you on what resonates with you, what takeaways you have. I'm so excited to start this conversation and to create more unstoppable women who are no longer stopped by fear and knowing every single day that when they feel the fear of never reaching their potential, that they can back that with, but I'm stepping closer. That is my dream for you. Thank you again for listening. I can't wait to talk to all of you. Again, if you're just popping in, please go back and watch this. It's well worth it. If you guys have any questions or are interested in working together, talking about what this could look like for you, please send me a message. There's no pressure, just a conversation to see if it's a good fit. Thank you and have a good Wednesday.